Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a little project on the Cruiser here. So I haven't really done too many videos on this car except for the FTE conversion, which it's about a year and a couple of months now since I've done it. I've done about 35,000, 40,000 Ks on it, and it's going awesome. Best thing I've ever did. So any of my subscribers that subscribe because of the FTE, if you're still thinking on the fence about it, do it, man. It is fucking awesome. Anyway, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to make a hanging sort of mesh rack at the top here, just so, because I really love my camping and a lot of the stuff that takes up a lot of the drawer space in here. So what I've got it set up as, this one is like food and stuff. So you got things like this, paper towel, chucks, toilet paper, chips, bread, that sort of thing, that really doesn't need to be in here because it's nice and light. It just takes up a lot of room, and so if I got rid of all this sort of shit, I could fill it up with stuff that I actually need. And when I'm going away for a few days, kind of running out of room or putting stuff in boxes and all sorts. So what I want to do is make like a hanging rack, and then I can just shove stuff up there. So I've got this from Bunnings. It's a mesh trailer tie down. It does have little eyelets on it. I'm not sure how springy this is going to be. If it's not going to be springy enough, I might put some like elastic strapping, sew some elastic strapping to the side of it, and so the whole thing's sort of suspended. But we'll see how we go. I've also got some more eyelets, because depending on where I'm going to be fitting it to, the ones that are on there might not be good, and I'm probably going to cut this down a little bit. So first I'll get it out and I'll sort of mock it up with some cable ties, see if this is going to be too big, and see where I need to go from there. So I've got a punch kit to hole punch it and punch in new grommets, and I'm either going to just cable tie it so I can remove it, or I'll bolt it in where the old handles used to go, because those handles are kind of useless now anyway. So I'll take them off, and then I can just bolt this through the bolt holes there. I've got some other bolt holes you can go up there where the seat belts used to be for the rear seats. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing just yet, but I'll mock it up and I'll show you where I'm at. Alright, so I didn't realise, but this thing comes with like an elastic band the whole way around through all the eyelets. So it's like a big springy net. I've just mocked it up and sort of hooked it to all the handles in the car, and it's almost the right size. But what it does need is, I want it to sit almost pretty much tight against the roof, so when you can spring it down, chuck shit in there, and it will sort of hold in there so it's not rolling around. So it needs to be a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to punch in some new eyelets across the side here and rehook it up and see if that's big enough, and then sort of go from there. See what I need to do. So we'll try that. Alrighty, so I worked out how much roughly I need to shorten it in order for it to be nice and tight, which is about this much. I just folded it over on itself, pulled it till I thought it looked pretty decent, and put a bit of tape there to measure it, sort of thing. Obviously it's going to be held by elastic anyway, so it can stretch and sort of sit where it wants to sit. Now with these grommets, going into this netting is not really substantial. It will hold somewhat, but not really well enough. So what I've done is I'm just lining it up with the grommets on the side here, and I'm going to double this over on itself, so it shouldn't pull too much on this grommet. I guess we'll see. Failing that, I'll have to get my missus or whatever to sew in this strip here, so I guess we'll find out. But yep, I'll just continue on and mock it up and go from there, and then I'm just going to do the same thing again on the end, or just chop it to make it a little bit shorter, because it's a little too long as well. So we'll see how we go. Well, I've tried numerous times to get these grommets in, and it doesn't appear like they're the right washer. So this washer that goes over, that you sort of clamp against, it's loose on the grommet, and this grommet with a tool would only actually burrs over a little bit, not enough to actually grab the washer, which is kind of retarded. So yeah, it's all jiggly on there. So I'm going to go back to Bunnings, take it back, and see if I can get some other ones that are correct. I guess it was a miss box. I don't know. Put the wrong ones in the box. Not quite sure what happened, but I'm using the same brand of punch kit as the grommets, so yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So we'll see. Well, just went to Bunnings and got a refund on the grommets. So I looked at all the other ones on the shelf and they're all the same. So I've told the bloke to pull them off. That was obviously a packaging problem or something with them. So this is a stainless one, not a black one, and you can see the washer on there fits nice and snug. So yeah, there's obviously a defect with those ones, so I'll try these ones and fingers crossed these ones work a bit better. Well, there's definitely the grommet, because the new grommet's working awesome. The washer clamps did crack a little bit there. I think I might need to lube up the tool when I use it so it doesn't sort of grab it, sort of slides. But yeah, you can see the eyelets in there. It's obviously not going to be super strong, but yeah, this is not going to hold a lot of weight, and I was planning on doubling it over. I'll see how strong it's going to be, then I can chop off the excess, but I am going to double over the fabric. So I'll mount it up now and see how it looks. So this is where I'm at the moment. So after a lot of trial and error, I've cut it to the right size and right length, and what I'm doing is just doing 2 elastic bands down either side. It works a lot better, stops it sort of getting loose in some spots and tight in others. So I'm just adding a grommet here because I've got to loop it in and out and get a hook sort of to go here, and having it from here to here just didn't get tension. So anyway, while I was here I thought I'd show you how these grommets work. So you just got a little installation tool where the grommet sort of sits in there nice and snug so it doesn't get damaged. Just make a hole in the canvas and you just poke the grommet through. Be hard to do one-handed, but anyway, poke it through somewhat like that. Then this little washer goes on there like that, and then all you have to do is get this tool, put it on there and hit it down with a hammer, and it'll just compress it over, and Bob's your uncle. All good. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll show you the fitment. So this is what the finished product pretty much looks like. So you're going through an eyelet at the end. I had to redo that one because that one was a redo from when the eyelets weren't working and the hole was a bit stuffed. So I just did all double eyelets on these because it's going through the mesh, so it's not very strong. So double eyelets should be pretty good. Put a few more eyelets on this side just so the hooks are all sort of orientated correctly. Because if I didn't put another eyelet in there, this hook, how this one ties in, would tie up through the top, and it sort of makes it sit funny because it doesn't sit like that on the other side. So now I'll clip it all in the car and show you what it looks like. Just before I do, actually, I'll show you my mounting mechanism. So all of them hook onto the handles except for the rears where the seatbelt used to go. I've just put a bolt with a nut over it, so it acts like a spacer, and then a big wide washer, and then the bungee cord just hooks around it. So I've got them on both sides at the back. Alright, now I'll hook it all up and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so here it is all installed in the car. So yeah, it fits pretty nice and tight. I can tighten it more just by tightening the elastic either side, which will just bring it closer that way or that way, which will tighten it up. Lengthwise it's pretty right, but again, tightening it will tighten it lengthwise as well. But I think it's pretty good. Don't want it too tight, but it's got a bit of springiness to it, which, you know, you can put your paper towel and all that in there, like so. So that'll hold that good enough and keep it out of the drawers. So yeah, like I say, just chips and bread and paper towels and toilet paper I could go up there. Nothing heavy. You're not going to put a pot up there or something, but yeah, just all your light stuff that takes up a lot of space. So like I say, it just clips in with all these little hooks, so you can easily unhook it if you don't need it. If you need to put something in the back or whatever, you can unhook it in a matter of seconds. And all in all, the mesh, I got it just for a trailer cargo net. I got it from Bunnings. It was $50, and I used grommets as well. It was about $5 plus the grommet tool, which was now another $10. So $65, and I made this. And I know you can buy these They obviously look a little bit nicer, but I mean, you could get someone to sew an edge on here and it look nice. To buy it, they're about 200, so saving a lot of money. And I mean, for what it is, you don't really need anything fancy. It does the job. And there we have it, guys. So yeah, nice, simple, cheap mod, and frees up your drawers a bit. Sweet. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.